Hello YouTube, I'm APC, and today I'd like to recommend a Kickstarter for you guys. This Kickstarter is for a 2D RPG called Elysian Shadows. And one of the neat things and one of the main kind of selling points for this Kickstarter is that they're taking the old genre of 2D RPG and they're applying a lot of new concepts and ideas to it to make it kind of fit in the next generation, make it more interesting. So, as you can see, they're already doing pretty well. They are pushing half of their goal right now, and they've only just started like a week ago. But they have a lot of neat stretch goals that I would like for them to meet. So that's why I'm making this video. I want them to get more support and hopefully meet some of these stretch goals so they can live out their dreams and create this awesome 2D RPG. So why am I excited about this project? And by extension, why do I think you should be excited about this project? Well, they're developing this in from the ground up with no pre-made engines in C++ along with some OpenGL. And as a game developer, I think making games can be very difficult. And I make games in GameMaker. It's significantly more difficult to develop games from such a low level. And for an indie game development studio with not a whole lot of resources on their hands, it's very admirable that they would go through this to develop a game in this way. B, as I said in the beginning, they're adding a lot of features to their game which haven't really been added before in the 2D RPG genre. As I said, that they make this from a low level, and in my opinion, this doesn't really gain them anything in terms of game design. You can do just as much game design in GameMaker as you can in C++. But what you can do with lower level languages is you have more control over optimizing it, and you have some more control over some specific technical details, and they've really taken advantage of this. So, for as far as technical details goes, they have more control over things like the lighting engine. You see they're adding shadows, which of course require a concept of 3D. You can see the way these shadows are; they require a concept of 3D, which hasn't really been done in 2D RPG, and they have some very nice looking lighting effects overall. And in addition, they have actual 3D rendering, so you can see they use the 3D in their game sometimes to kind of make the game pop out more, which is really, I think it's neat that they would go through so much effort to develop that. Another area of technical detail that they can work with is since they have basically no limits on where this can be developed for, they have the ability to develop for cross-platform, and they've really embraced this. So you can see out of the box they have PC, Mac, Linux, Ouya, Dreamcast, Android, and iOS. Those are all very different systems, and which of course takes extra time is for the weaker systems like the Ouya, Dreamcast, Android, iOS. For those ones that they need to do extra optimizing for that, so it's just more work on their part. And they're also developing for other systems such as, or of course they meet the stretch goals, they'll even go as far as doing some current gen systems like PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, Nintendo 3DS, and PS Vita. So those are some abilities which require a lot of extra work, which comes out of them developing from a low level like this. C, they went through a lot of work to make every aspect of the game new and exciting. I've been mainly talking about the technical programming aspect of it, but they've gone through a lot of work to make every area of it really new and neat. So for one thing, in their gameplay, they've taken a mashup of a lot of kind of more current games and tried to use bits and pieces of them in their game. So for exploration, they've kind of taken ideas from Legend of Zelda for exploring, and for their combat, they're making more action-oriented. So like they've taken from Secret of Mana and God of War. They've also included platforming in the game, which is something you don't really see in 2D RPGs. So that's all really neat. They're being really innovative with their game. And the audio is another thing I hadn't talked about. It's also kind of mixed between old and new ideas. So they're mixing up a lot of the 8-bit sounds from the 2D RPGs, which you may know, and mixing that with kind of really higher quality new sounds. So it's all around well-rounded game. They also have a cool story. I don't really know much about it because they don't go into much detail about it, but since spoilers and all that, but they have some information about that on this Kickstarter page if you'd like to check that out. They've also said many times on their Adventures in Game Development series that this game started as a story-driven game. So it started as One of their team members, I suppose, were writing out the story on a piece of paper, and that was how the game started, as a story written on a piece of paper. So that's all very, very cool. But enough about the Kickstarter. I just mentioned their Adventures in Game Development series. They have a YouTube channel, which you can find, search Elysian Shadows, and they have the series called Adventures in Game Development, where on and off they upload videos showing them developing their game. And one of the things I think is neat about it is they're not just summarizing their progress on the game. The video is from them as they're working on the game. And as a programmer, I can relate to a lot of the things they're going through, you know, with tricky bugs and all that, and you know, just kind of slowly chopping away at the game, and every bit of progress just feels really great. And they've been making this for a really long time. If you scroll down, they've actually started making it in high school. And throughout the series, you can see them developing as game developers, which is really neat to see them develop that way over time. And the consistent thing has been Elysian Shadows, this one game that they've been working on. Of course, it hasn't been consistent the whole way through. They've had breaks in between. They've started over several times, but that is the consistent thing throughout their videos, and it's neat to see, to follow their progress through their YouTube series. So, that's all for this video. Go ahead and check out their Kickstarter, and maybe even donate if you feel so inclined. Also, I think you'll really enjoy their YouTube series. If you're interested in programming and game development, which you probably are since you're subscribed to my channel, I think you'll find this both informative and inspiring. So, I look forward to seeing you guys next time.